Hey guys. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the vibes. I want to sit here and say that this is going to be brief. Don't hold me to that because y'all already know the vibes. If you've been here, if you new, welcome, honey. I am Goddess High Priestess Empress Alba La Panthera. We're going to check on the vibes to see what the energy is right now, okay? Is it what the energy is right? Let me see. Because here's the thing. Okay, so I have this deck here. This is a mixture of one, two, past life, love angel cards, and the Starseed Oracle deck card, Star Keeper deck. And release your ex and baby has been coming up quite a bit. All right. So this could be for those of you who may have children and you're possibly thinking of someone of the past. This could also be, if it's not having to do a relationship with the card baby and release your ex showing up quite a bit, this could be releasing the expectations that you've had in regards to the way you were nurtured or taken care of, or your essence of love and care that you may have inherited or saw or developed as a programming from when you were itty bitty. Not preferably, but more so between the moment that you were born or the moment of conception, from the womb state up until you were able to express yourself in full sentences. So there may have been something that you saw, but you wasn't still at that age or didn't have the verbiage just yet to fully express what it was that you were feeling. But that doesn't negate that you didn't feel or perceive the situation as you may have perceived and felt it at that moment. Okay. So, yeah, let me give y'all a few. We're gonna see what comes up now. But that showed up twice when I was checking on the collective vibes. I was like, what is this about? Some of you could have a connection to Celtic, Egypt, ancient Kemet vibes. Let me see how this is turning here. Some more so that way. And can you tell I have a moon in Virgo? All right. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. All right. Let's see what's going on. Show me the vibes, baby. All praise is due to the Most High. Mama Universe, Papa Universe. Gratitude for your love, guidance, and support as we deliver these messages for the collective. What is the vibe? What is the vibes? Let's see. Wow. Okay. Spiritual strength. So this has been stirring up since Saturn Day, because that also showed up quite a bit. You becoming much clearer about where your spiritual strength comes from. Being that this is a moon and Sagittarius card, you could be born to a mother or significant maternal figure in your life. You could be born to a mother or connected to a significant maternal energy in your life that embodies the frequency of Sagittarius, or something in regards to your spiritual strength is connected to the remembrance, knowing as to the way when your mind's eye, your first eye, is connecting, communicating information to you. And this turns on when you are in alignment to your heart chakra. This is also where you speak your truth, not necessarily to another, but when you speak your truth to yourself. which makes it effortless for you to express it to another. At the bottom of the deck, there has been quite a bit of meditation some of you have been doing. Meditation doesn't just mean that you're sitting in this position and that's you meditating. It's whatever allows you to feel as though you are grounded. Okay? So this could be anything that you do that allows you to have an effortless flow is when you begin to notice the type of messages or ideas that come to you, similar to when you in the shower or you taking a deuce. You see the thoughts that be coming through or the clarity that comes through. Some of you possibly, you may be a little backed up. You need to release some shit because you're full of it. Okay, so it's all right, release it. Release it. Yeah. 9 and 13, 9 and 4, 13. Transformation 4 of your foundation. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. Wow. Okay. So that 2 tower moments, that could be of significance. Something's been reflected back to you. Your spiritual strength comes from stormy events, but there's a way of perceiving that, meaning because your clarity comes from a stormy event, don't be the type of person that places yourself into imbalanced stormy situations just to attain that strength or just to have the resonance with your spiritual strength, because it doesn't only come through storms. That's just one of the ways it comes through, not the only way. But there's certainly a massive release that is happening with this balance card and the justice card. There's a karmic lesson that is coming to a point of, okay, I get it, type of energy. For foundation here, we have the number 4 showing up. So what is that? 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is Sun in Capricorn. A grandfather energy is coming up. A strict grandfather energy is coming up as to the way a mother, the way a mother moves, as to where you get your strength from, has something to do with her father or grandfather. For others of you with this firm foundation, being that is a Sun in Capricorn, you're noticing that your spiritual strength is something as simple as you trusting your inner authority and doing what it means to trust and move based off of your inner authority. With the balance card, that's Libra energy. So a lot of this, especially with this Capricorn card of authority, inner authority with Saturn, well, it's in Pisces right now. So there's a lot that's being dissolved or going through its final dissolution phase as to what has been blocking you from your spiritual strength. Spiritual strength, what allows you to consistently move from a higher vibration. If you're weak on that side, obviously you're not going to be tuning in. You're not, okay. Because once you tap in, you really won't be able to tap out, because the butterfly doesn't go back to being a caterpillar. You see, so one could also be significant with this 9 and 4. That's a 13. 13, that's 1. As far as when we're looking at the clock, if you look at it from a 12-hour perspective with the 111, there's certainly an alignment that's happening finally. So, okay, the reason why the word finally has to come out with this at this point too is because of Saturn being in Pisces, and it won't be there for a while, another 30 years. So this is the final time that you all will see that Saturn is in Pisces for another 30 years or so, 28 to 30 years. So you could look at that as 30, 60, 90. 120, 150, 180. 6, and this is Virgo season. Okay, so whatever this habit that prevents the lineage from tapping into their spiritual strength, it is at least 6 generations back. So when we're picking up this maternal energy or grandfather energy, this could be 6 generations back. So the sixth grandmother, in a sense, her father type of vibes, if we're getting real specific with it. But that's besides the point. The thing is, you carry that frequency, and this is what is being dissolved, so that way balance can be brought to the plate. I heard the plate, balance. Okay, so there's something here about your gut, detoxing, having a clear vessel for clear passage, for clear direction. I don't normally touch up on my hair as I'm doing something about someone's hair, a different style. You could be going through some type of identity shift. Yeah. There's something that you do. This, okay, this is not for someone in here significantly. When you go through certain shifts, your defense mechanism might be to cut your hair, in a sense. Female. That's basically a form of escapism. When something gets too her deep and over yonder. So you could be of Caribbean descent. Okay. Went there with it. Let's get one more. Wow. 9, 11, 9. A lot of Jupiter energy with the ancient ruler of Pisces, Jupiter and Pisces being Jupiter. And then we have temptation. What's behind that? Wow. Another, what happened September 1st to the 11th? Okay. September 1st to the 11th. It's 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. I just heard you, someone just, I've been doing so much on my own. I'm fucking tired. That's what I heard. I've been doing so much on my own. I'm tired. Go ahead and get you some rest. It's more than okay. Okay, so that's another thing here too, where in order for you to experience a reality that you are manifesting, claiming, and then stepping into a sovereign state, going beyond a wishing state, you have to give yourself, somebody here over explains themselves when the only thing you got to say is no. It's okay to get rest. Some people feel uncomfortable and feel as though you always have to be on a move to feel as though you're doing what you're supposed to do. And you have an issue with telling people no when you absolutely want to say no and you say yes. You're constantly you listen to me, babe. Okay. You are constantly allowing yourself to be tempted in situations that you can easily just say no to. Now, what you can reflect on is when you say no, and those feelings that come up because you don't want someone to feel some type of way, why are you carrying that person's burden because your response is no? That's the first question you want to ask yourself. Doesn't matter who it is. Mother, father, brother, sister, children, doesn't matter who it is. Because what the collective has to realize is that when you have those non-negotiable boundaries, and you truly align with it, and you do what it is that you have to do, maybe at that initial moment when you do tell someone no, they may not see the reason behind it, but that shouldn't place you in a position where you don't move based on those non-negotiable boundaries because you're worried about what someone thinks or feels about what you are to do for yourself, so you can be a better version of yourself for yourself, and to be that better version for them as well. One of the key words you want to dive into within within this cycle, so from Monday till Sunday, really dive into the word accountability. So you can see where you're allowing yourself to go through a process of temptation without tempering yourself, because temperance comes before temptation. What haven't you allowed to end? Transformation Death card, which comes before the Temperance card. What haven't you allowed to end, so that way you can properly temper or integrate yourself based on what you've learned, so that way when you are approached with a situation that could possibly tempt you, you know exactly what to do and the way to move. All right. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this, shall we? Lessons and blessings. Biblical ones. Well, shit. Okay. Well. You got 3 past life cards. And... oh, this is getting juicy. 3 past life cards and 2 love cards. So... your past life, collective, it has affected your romantic connections. What are you going to do about it? That's where studying the word accountability comes into play. You see what we did there? Because the whole lesson about this is, what are you doing that reflects you loving yourself? 7 of Swords, Moon in Aquarius. Where are you still deceiving yourself? And move accordingly. As in, don't allow yourself to continue on with that deception. Let's look a little bit deeper into this. But before I go into the tarot, let me see something. Your spiritual strength is connected to you loving yourself first. So there's something here also with this balance and air card energy, air element, of making sure that the thoughts that you have about yourself are your own thoughts, not someone else's projection of you. Because I'm going to be honest, some of you do have a mission as to why that particular experience may be so brutal, because you're going to possibly be used as bait to clear up this realm when it comes to those who just feel as though that they can just fuck with anybody and feel as though that that's their mission to do it. Not everybody can carry that role of being the bait of sorts, because you're going to have to be real and true to yourself to do that. So much so, what reflects a person that has that capability, your foundation, you and your foundation, amazing. So you may come across those as that bait that have issues with their foundation, their finances, to come at you in a certain way where they're supposed to learn their lesson as to be mindful as to the way one expresses themselves towards a person who is actually here to generate or change their vibration that has them in this essence of absence of abundance or a lack of abundance, however which way one wants to state that. But when you are holding yourself accountable for your journey, even so much so that you would be placed in positions to, do some form of dissolving of energies for others within your bloodline, because you're the one that carries the frequency to be able to do that, while everyone else is, doing what they want to do, doing what they desire to do as they see fit based on their own experience and what they're able to take on. Because to love yourself first, being connected to your spiritual strength, this is an example of someone saying no to people it's extremely uncomfortable because of how big of a heart you have, or how connected, deeply connected you are to your heart chakra, where you may want to continuously give and fill others' cups, but you also have to be mindful and aware and conscientious as to where you are filling, whose cup you're filling, because even if you come through with pure water, if that cup is tainted and dirty, it can come through as vinegar easily. So some of you may have encountered a lot of deception, so you can have a clear idea energetically, because it's not only about the person and the experience. It's also connected to what is the seed that has developed this experience connected to this person. So when you go to the root of a situation, now you're going towards, okay, what is the reflection or the other side of the coin when it comes to, one who is rooted and grounded? That's a person in fear or in anger. What's the reflection or the other side of the coin when someone is tapped into their sexuality and sensuality and is able to creatively flow? That is basically one who is not in a position where they're able to be nurtured because they've never been nurtured. So everything that comes towards them comes across as, oh, that's not what nurturing is, because one may not even know what it is, because in each experience of it has been the complete opposite. So now it comes through as self-sabotage that plays out as guilt. When one is not connected to their willpower, their self-expression, shame is the reflection of that, the other side of the coin. The coin of that is shame. When one is not connected to love, they're connected to grief. That's the other side of the coin. But they both have value. Two sides of one coin, that coin still has value to it. It's just a matter of a perception of what the heads and the tails is, but seeing it as that's still one coin, but one has to be, have an even keel or equilibrium when it comes to both sides of it. Basically, the integration between the light and the shadow. So when you recognize that loving yourself first is also connected to your spiritual strength, you may have gone through a lot of situations, familial situations with family, where there may have been a lot of deception, that if the lesson wasn't learned at home, it trickled into your other relationships, because the lesson had to go through its time, had to go through the process. Saturn. So let's see it. Ooh, Somebody going through spiritual surgery. And sirens just went off outside. Yeah. Well, we are approaching Archangel Michael's feast day, 9/29. This is also where this comes into play. Sirens from the Popo and the fire department. So yeah, wow. 647. That's 611 also. 611. What's 611? Completing the cycle of betrayal. Just look at everything as a tool for transmutation. Sometimes some of these tools, some of these situations that have to do with betrayal and deception is to tap you into a version of yourself or the shadow aspect of yourself, the dark side of yourself that you have refrained from integrating fully with the light. So this could be something as simple as calling on your ancestors with a deeper intent, where now that deeper intent awakens a certain level of ancestral energies that are here to guide and protect you, that only awaken in certain moments. If there has to be something that has to be completely severed and dissolved, these are the ones that come in energetically through you, through your essence of acceptance and saying, you know, take it from here, ancestors and spirit guides, because some of you know exactly what I'm speaking of in terms of there's certain things you won't do because you know how grave it could be. But these next 10 years are not to be taking it easy on anything or anyone. With Pluto out of bounds. If you've been vibing with my ancestors, spirit guides over here on this channel, you should already have an awareness as to, you should be able to put the dots together as to why the messages would come out the way they would come out. Since 2019, 2020. And Pluto has been out of bounds since 2020. So any form of chaos or any form of storm that is to come in to clear out the situation, it's no longer holding back is what I'm getting to. And the way that translates into your physical experience is something as simple as saying no and allowing you to see the truth of people's character when you finally do something that is of you stepping outside your comfort zone due to people-pleasing habits. With Saturn going back into Pisces, the final dissolution phase or the final moment where things are being dissolved, that has been going on time after time, generation after generation. Saturn, belief systems that just been trickling through, you know, one's nervous system. The reflection of Pisces is Virgo. That whole transit of Pisces, Saturn going into Pisces happening during Virgo season is a massive, it's a big deal, especially with the South Node being in Virgo. Wherever the South Node is where it's clearing out, so that way where the energies of the North Node can be taken care of. North Node is in Pisces of surrender. South Node is in Virgo of old habits and past life. So there's old ways of doing things that have to be released. So that way it can be fully released from the nervous system. So with that being said, there could be situations where just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, the sweetness of doing nothing, that is you connecting to source now. Because when you take it to that point of, you have us, you have the infinite creative law, then you have source, then you have what it is that is beyond source. It's nothingness. But that nothingness is that pure, primal, primordial energy, chaotic frequency to an extent. Actually, it's beyond that, because even chaos can submit to a light energy. Anyway. But that sweetness of doing nothing, eat, love, pray, title vibes. That could be something that is a little foreign to your nervous system. Look at that. Speaking of North Node in Pisces, or the essence of surrendering. Surrender, let me see. In order to master this, you must surrender. Show me this. Well, whatever this is, it's certainly on its way to you. It's going to show you the ways you are to bring balance into a situation in connection to your spiritual strength. What this is that's on its way to you may be something that was considered a fulfillment of wishes, but it helps you to unlock the depths of your emotions even further. In the sense that a wish could also be you not fully tapping into your imagination. It's just grazing the surface. But whatever this situation is that is on your way to you may appear as a fulfillment. May appear only as a fulfillment, only for you to see, nah. Only for you to see that this is what you have to surrender to. For others, what's on your way is something that you've been calling and desiring. You've called it and manifested it several times, but you've never claimed it. Because of a possible religious belief system that was not allowing you to love yourself first, which then leads to wearing a mask in many of situations, preventing you now from loving yourself first, or taking actions that reflect what does it mean for you to love yourself. What's the image of that? What is the experience of you taking actions that reflect you loving yourself first? Some of you may go through an experience, and just reflecting on that, it can make you quite uncomfortable, because you recognize how many people you may have to tell no to or move differently with in order for you to truly connect to what it is that you would do that reflects you loving yourself first. What actions does he or she take that reflects them loving themselves first? See, now let's look at this, because this is at the bottom of the spread right now. 5 of Wands. Whatever this is has to do with communication. When you put it together, there's a certain way of communicating you're being guided to either surrender or surrender to. We'll see where this is going. However, Saturn and Leo, this is testing your position of power. How are you when you are having to present yourself in a position of power, or, as we mentioned before, having authority, connecting to your inner authority? Let's see what's behind this. It's certainly got to do with a significant relationship. North Node, some of you got a North Node in Cancer, South Node in Capricorn. This is your lifetime to be more nurturing and less authoritative in relationships. Specifically the one you may have with the maternal figure even. Certainly maternal figure with the Empress. Being more nurturing. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, because this is the moon in Sagittarius here, connecting to maternal energy. Something happens in cycles. Giving away one's energy happens in a particular cycle. Currently, we are, let me see. Not the moon is, nah, no it ain't. The moon is in Cancer. Oh shit. All right. So that's why this is coming through. Okay. There's something here about, okay. Because this is Venus in Cancer. Some of you could be over nurturing something here, and you need to temper yourself with that. 8 of Cups, walking away from a situation. Yeah, Sid, this is that past life shit, okay? Start a new page with the Page of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. Yo, these cards literally just explain this whole shit right here. The challenge has been the level of soulmates that one has been attracting, basically moving in the motherly role. You, the person or type of people you connect to could have you feeling as though you play a more of a take care of you type of energy. You or them. This is what has to be tempered, as we mentioned here. What's this? Mintaka. Longing for home. The original light workers. That's one of the stars in Orion, the 3. Gemini. Constellation. Taurus energy. Yeah, Gemini, 3, 2, Taurus, possibly. Let me see. See, you got the 8 of Cups, 4 of Cups. It's a lot of water. Pisces. All 3 of them. This is a Scorpio card. This is a Cancer card. This is a Pisces card. But what's in the middle is the Cancer card. A mother energy, maternal energy, away, an ancestral habit that it's time to turn the page on with the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, see, 9 of Pentacles, that's literally connected to about 9, 10, 9, 11 with the 10 of Swords, which is around that 6-11 mark that we was talking about, that betrayal type of vibes. Queen of Cups, Cancer again. Queen of, oh, so this, for some of you, this is a journey towards your, this is literally a journey towards you developing some sort of beyond spiritual practice. 5 of Cups, Ace of, yeah. Your sorrow, pains, and regrets actually lead to a completely new beginning that you, okay, that's literally is going to be masked. It would have to be masked completely, the Hermit. Until you go into a state of solitude. There goes that Queen of Swords with the Justice showing up behind her. A lot has to, you know, go through a process of transformation, because the Queen of Swords is also an energy of a widow. That was just somebody, look at that, Judgment. Queen of Swords, Justice, Judgment. That was somebody closing the lid on the trash out there. 4 of Swords. That's rest and rejuvenation. Putting something to sleep, godly. And, yo, there's a lot of people in here. Anyway. Okay. Ooh, my fault. So here's the thing. So basically, all that you've been experiencing has not or will not be in vain. Just put it that way. That's just, we in a wanting crescent phase. That's what I was looking for. Wanting crescent phase. You're not too far from a new moon. That's why a lot of this shit has to be released. Clear as day. Okay. Before, yeah. Where would the moon be while it's in Leo? Let me see. What degrees is that? Wanting crescent. So it'll go through the 5, 6, 7, obviously, yeah. Before it gets to, which is this. So whatever this is that's coming your way could appear within the next 48 hours, because the 17th is when the moon goes into Leo. Saturn and Leo, though. Let's see. What day is this? Let's see. Thursday. Thor's day. Jupiter day. Shango day. Putting the hammer down on something. Okay. Let me see. There's certainly something here about one's mind's eye, though. There's a lot more information coming through. So take note of the messages that come through based off the example that we had earlier. When you're in the shower, when you're taking a deuce, when you're doing things of the mundane and you go into a deep thought, a lot of information's coming through there for each and every one of you, specifically as to what's coming your way that you're being guided to surrender. Yeah, the moon, before the new moon in Virgo, which is the solar eclipse, which is the second new moon of this Virgo season. And it happens to be the solar eclipse at that. Yeah, it's time to clear out whatever this is that you've been carrying. So there could be an effortless transformation. 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and that's Saturn and Sag. So something is going to solidify itself that was just sitting in your intuitive space, in a sense. Something that's been sitting in your spiritual or your cosmic astral realm is going to play itself out in the physical to help you to recognize what this is that you've been carrying. You're going to know exactly what this is to surrender, because it's not your first time seeing it. You've seen it, felt it, heard it, smelled it. You've gone through all the senses of experiencing it except for your physical eyesight in this dimension. Behind this, yeah, temptation shows up again. It's destined and fated. Perfect. To put you back into your power. This is some massive power with the Hierophant. This puts you back into alignment of the worth that you carry in connection to your higher self. The way your higher self moves and the way it's been guiding you, that's what's landing into your body with the Hierophant Taurus energy. And we just mentioned that with this Mintakan card. Mintaka is one of the stars of the constellation of Gemini, which means the zodiac sign within that constellation of Gemini will be Taurus, which is this, the Hierophant energy. So this is you basically seeing your worth that comes from the lessons that you have had or gone through, you know, based on your family and what you all decided to do or deemed as this is the proper way to be. Proper. Something about the UK as well. Or those could be someone's initials, but the UK, the way proper just came through. Let me see here. This is wild because that's Pisces, and this is, well, this could be Pisces too. Cancer energy. Pisces, Cancer. Yeah, see, there's some, what this is that you're being guided to surrender is coming to you, so that way there could be a final clearing for this new moon in Virgo. 7:07 on the time right now. Let's see what this is. Not, you know what? Okay. Yeah, see, and this card fell off the table just now. Fulfillment of wishes. It's on some, if you've been avoiding from seeing what the truth is of a situation that you felt as though, oh, this is it, nah. You about to see why it ain't it. Respectfully. Love you. Yep. So you can walk away from this shit once and for all. There goes Saturn and Pisces, 8 of Cups right there. The final dissolution phase. This is basically no longer sabotaging what you're passionate about because others around you don't see why you would do that. In a sense. 8 of Swords. For some, this is exactly why your finances may not be moving as smoothly as it should be with the 8 of Swords that popped in and out. You don't want to see it for what it is, and until you see it for what it is, you're going to keep going through this cycle. 2 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, this could be a certain relationship you want to constantly get to work over and over and over again, and shit is done. It's time for something new. A whole new journey. Now, for a small percentage, you've already met the person, your soul and the forever evolving version of yourself is connected to. You've already met them, but y'all will both having to go through a particular cycle. See, that type of information right there get a little risky in terms of where some, if you're not tapped in and tuned in with yourself completely, you're gonna take on that message. That message is not for everybody. It doesn't feel as though it's for the person that's for may not even be watching this right now. Because for the majority of the collective that this message is coming through for is going towards something completely new. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. The person that sees this message might see this shit 9 years from now. That's how far off that part was. If there is someone here that is tuning into this right now, right, and you feel as though it resonates with you, part of the reason why it would, you can clear up, per se, 9 years within one lucid moment or 24 hours because of how aware you are and the actions you take based off your awareness. Meaning you're not a person that has any level of fear in your vessel. You don't have no fear in your vessel. Is that possible? Absolutely. Yes, it is. Because you disconnected yourself from that program. So for whoever that is, you would know that you could actually be with someone that you met before, but y'all were both going through your particular cycles and really tuning into the highest version of yourself and always forever evolving and making that part of yourself better. Because you know that doesn't end. You know it's eternal. So you are someone who embodies an eternal spirit. I heard law. You carry the eternal cosmic law. You ain't out here going through lessons and looking shit up and having hypochondria type of vibes. That ain't true. keeping it real. That's all we can do. Welcome, my loves. Welcome, Evie. Her shit. Well, see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's confirming what was just said just now. Queen of Cups, Ten of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, that's specifically for. It's not even a percentage. You can't even get to one. In terms of 1%, because this is what I mean. This person can literally transcend, transform, transmute life from a past betrayal. That shit there ain't for the weak now. Okay? That is not. Tell me more. Look at this. Landed right here. Let me see. 8 of Pentacles. You've gone through quite a bit of a challenge here working on your craft. That is for sure. But this Virgo season is making it clear to you, you know, these new form habits that you are developing. 4 of Wands. Yeah. You did. Okay. This is for whoever it is that can be. It is written for you and someone for your past to be that. I'm telling you, this is not everything. This is process. Again, this is not. Sources having me remind y'all, it is obviously not, it ain't any of y'all in here right now. I can tell that shit for sure. It ain't any of y'all in here right now. This is someone watching this when we're not even live. This 1111, you have gone through quite a bit of adversity to be with someone from the previous version, because you and this person didn't get to a point where you disrespected each other. That's a key indicator. There was no disrespect. Things might have gotten, the intentions might have ran a bit high, but not high enough for either side to disrespect one another in any form or fashion. Can emotions get high without there being disrespect? Yes. But that comes to, you know, each side having a higher understanding of themselves to be able to go through a situation of that nature. That's giving podcast material. That person could have a podcast, honestly. Or there's a level of understanding of the journey they had together to be able to come back together. You know? So, for the collective here, I'm telling you, that's y'all. This is y'all. The past, that cycle's ended. That cycle it completely ended. If you even attempt to go back to something in your past, tower moment immediately. Subconsciously, you know that though. Because I'm only confirming what you already know is behind that. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Because anytime, okay. Where you're going next reflects your purpose entirely, and the vitality that people are inspired by that you have, that you give them due to that inspiration. Feel me? 4 of Swords. You've been sleeping on that for what? Like a 44. 16-4. That's 444. You could be seeing that number quite. If you have been seeing 444 quite a bit, you're one of those that can actually be with someone from the past that you've been wondering about. But you know it's also going to take a lot too, though. But it's not more than you can handle, because 4, 4, 4, that's a 12. You know that there's going to be certain things that have to be surrendered, that each side has to surrender. away from or to. It's a very mature shit. Might as well be biblical at that point. Might as well be. Because it's okay. Because there is an energy I'm picking up in here of a wishful thinker. That's why I'm doing all of this extra shit right now at this point. I don't know who it is here. That's not none of my business. You know yourself. But if you have, let's say you are somebody in here right now wondering about somebody of the past because you have some level of forgiveness in your heart now where it allows you to, go a little back there. But remember that Saturn is in Pisces. Do that first. Start there, which means that there are certain ways of you connecting with people that may not necessarily be of your own making, spiritually soul-wise, but more so something you've learned from a traumatic experience. Doing something to not have to go through what you're used to seeing. Or being with a certain type so it doesn't reflect what you've seen other people go through that you may not want to go through. What is the version of you that moves in this way? That when you select someone to be in your space, it truly reflects the perception of the healed version of you. And I mean healed version of you. That whomever hurt you in the past, they can come up to you and you can easily say hi and bye and didn't feel nothing about it. I mean, I feel absolutely nothing about it because you've been there, done that. You have this overstanding of dimensions and perceptions and you can arise from that easily. Let's take it to a practical example. May not be so practical, but it can give you the image of it. I'm always going to be, give you the sport analogies and the gym or whatever. Let's say someone is used to, let's say a guy, he's used to bench pressing 225 as a warm up. But this person hasn't worked out or stepped into the gym for at least a year. Usually you're supposed to work your way into that when you come back. But this person, because of an emotional and spiritual refinement that they've had within that year, although they didn't go to the gym, they can still walk into the gym and warm up that 225. That shit is not easy. So it's not normal, actually. It's really not. Or let's say you're someone who wanted to start, doing your workouts or whatever. You just got to a point where you can run a mile at least in 10 minutes. And you don't run a mile for a year, but you can come back and hit the same mark that you ran the last time you ran one. And you was in a level of shape that took you a while to get there type of thing. Because the memory or the muscle memory is still there. So now with this situation, for someone of the past, that muscle memory is more so of a soul recognition and mission together. Obviously, that ain't every fucking body. Because some of you gotta take certain steps before you reach that door of, whom that actually is. So, there is that. Let's see. Oh gosh, what's this? If it wanted to come out in this deck, switch decks, it still came out anyway. Capricorn could be significant. Capricorn could be someone is about their money though. But let's see what this is, because it showed up 3 times already. In every deck that pulled through, what's the devil card? Defensive. It's a sign of weakness. See, this is why some of you can't go back to the past. Because y'all don't be, you're not going to even hear each other out for real. This shit is giving Love Island and shit. Waiting for another text for there to be another, what they call it? Another hookup session. So they can switch, another coupling. So they can get out the couple they in and shit. What's this? Divine heart. Defensive. You're going to have to choose one. Either you're going to tap in, tune in, stay there in that divine heart, or be defensive. It takes you away from all this light, though. Let's see. 7 of Wands. What's this? Okay. Let's pick it up the way it landed. And Temperance. In that order. In order to handle this temptation, you're going to have to temper yourself. To temper yourself, you're going to have an ending of what? What's the ending here? Okay. Let's see. The Queen of Swords. In reverse, though? I just heard stop lying. Either you stop lying or stop letting people lie to you and you know they fucking lying. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do about this lying ass situation? Some of you, your pendulum, you are a walking pendulum. You can feel when someone's, you're really tapped into your body. You can feel when someone is lying because you're being witnessed and supported during all of this. Let me see. 4 of Cups. In reverse, though. You know exactly why you've been discontent and bored in situations of the past or this current one that you're in. Show me. It landed right here. Love yourself first and self. Yeah, because it doesn't reflect the version of you that loves self first. That's why you know, and that's why it's time to do something about it. Subconscious, yeah, your subconscious mind is loud with this level of motion. It's time to get the wheel going. Because your ships are coming in of what it is that you desire. But if you're still connected to what you want, you're going to miss out on what you desire. Because your want, your want is old stories and beliefs you still want to hold on to. Movement. That I turned it upright, but it shit was out in reverse for real. So you don't want to move on from these old stories and beliefs. Look at this. What's this? Oh, some of y'all really got to cut this fucking cord, huh? Well, what's the energy hook? What's the energy hook? Some of y'all know y'all don't even breathe properly around this energy, but you still there. Shit is not even funny right now. I love you, but that ain't it. What's the energy hook? Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. That's what I heard. What's this? It fell on the ground too. What's this tower moment? You see this already. I know I ain't telling y'all some shit you don't already know. September 9th, 99963 Yeah, okay. Mutable sign. Gemini, Virgo, Pisces. Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Pisces. 36912. Check to see what's in those houses for you. Because that's the way you magically shift through experiences. And whatever you have in those houses, utilize those elements and properties of that planet, energetic vibes and shit, and do what you gotta do. Some of you may have, I'm picking up strongly on Aries 9th house. You're supposed to do a lot of this shit that you are wanting to do with other people on your own. You learn a lot from these situations, though. It expands your perspective. But this is what we were saying at the beginning. You go through situations that expand your perspective, but that's not the only way to expand your perspective. 727. I heard scapegoat. What the- I'm here. Something about seventh and eighth grade. Something about seventh and eighth grade. I just heard the voice of listen. I just know that particular teacher, earth science, something regarding crystals. That particular teacher, I heard the way he would say, "Excuse me," and I heard that's what I heard. So that's seventh, eighth grade. Shout out to him because he actually got me to a point where I took a high school course in junior high, and I didn't have to take that course in high school, which allowed me to get to physics quite quickly. So that could be something of significance too, where you are resonating with this message, or this is a confirmation for you, where you may have taken advanced courses in junior high or in high school, which allow you to move forward much faster. This doesn't even have to be school. This could be your experiences allowed you to move through things much faster, but you allowed other people's perception of how quickly you were moving to dim your light or to slow you down. Stop doing that. That's what that's about. Okay. 7 and 8, that's 15. That's there. Wow. Childhood. Whoa. Mars Pisces energy showing up here. 6, 2, 8. What goes around comes back around, but you don't have to be in a way of what's coming around for those who have deceived you, and you may not even be aware of that. Well, that could be what's coming through here. Oh, shit. Not the fairy tale behind telephone. A minute. Hold on. Let's see how far this goes. Let me see. What? Yeah, there's a deeper meaning. There goes that. Man, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's something here that goes on for about a month and a half. Something could because something goes on beyond a month, you feel it's something. Okay. Whatever this is that's coming your way, that you're being guided to surrender, this is something that comes in about it comes in, you see it goes on for at least a month. It goes on another cycle, aka 1 week, another cycle after that, 2 weeks, a month and a half. And that's when shit hits the fan, as to where you're realizing, oh, that's some shit you was supposed to surrender and let go of. Because it sounds sweet. Everything sounds sweet, adventurous. But what they are needing is your energy. That's the deeper meaning to this. Without your energy, they don't prosper because they don't have their own source of emotional wealth, intelligence. That's the hidden meaning to them. The hidden meaning to them connecting to you. Where are we going with this? Because okay, this is something that you've been tied to energetically, energy hook, because of a certain perception you had since you were a child. So it's as if it makes sense for you to be in a certain situation because that's all you know. But all these things that you felt as though that was all you know, that's the exact same thing that's being stripped away from you in this final dissolution phase, Saturn and Pisces. Getting out of the decisions you make based off of victimhood. So when things begin to change for you abruptly, and it makes you uncomfortable, uninvited changes in your life. It's on some, I ain't asked for this shit, but it leads you to somewhere else though. So even let's say there's there's a call or some level of communication that comes in. I just smelled frankincense just now, but it was burned. Someone comes in with some level of communication and you feel as though it fulfills you, but it's just wishful thinking. It's not an actual desire of yours. It's more of a want. But it's going to lead you to what it is that you desire when you realize that what you want ain't for you. That type of vibe. With the eclipse showing up. It may come through as you feel as though you're blocked from something, but that's just temporary. It's temporary for you to shift into the next phase. Yeah, within a few days, within a few, 7. See, something about the timing. Take a deep breath, and that's exactly what happened as this came out. Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. That's what Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown. 23 could be significant. Jordan Sparks, and we got, you know what? The message is they ain't no spark. That's you don't be sitting here playing yourself, talking about you feel a spark with something, and that ain't no fucking spark. Because some of you, that could be your first, that could be your first experience where source is using you as bait to get people in alignment. Man, yeah, we was just singing a little bit. Go ahead and confirm it, why don't you? That's all fire right there. You got all 3 fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag showing up. But the problem is, and somebody loves wearing cocoa butter. The Palmer's one, it's a masculine, because I smell cologne, and it could be not a man, it could be a man too, a man or woman. But I smell Palmer's cocoa butter. It's giving fall season smells. Palmer's cocoa butter and cologne. Jean Paul Gaultier to be exact. That's just not good together. Somebody could be an air sign. Yeah, somebody is an air sign. You air sign, you. Shout out to the air signs though. That's the reflection of fire. Y'all better leave us the fuck alone. Said what I said. Now, let me see. Turn this up right. Many options. It goes the air. Yeah. She can go any which way. But see, this is what I'm saying. Going with the wind. Person up, I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. Okay. We're done here. Okay? We're done here. It isn't, it's an air sign. Gotta be. If you ain't having fun, you don't feel free, you don't feel that high vibe, leave. Quickly. Okay? Put the blinders on and gallop, go. Okay? Don't be sitting there attempting to hold some shit together and you can't fucking breathe with this corset on. Stop playing. Look, see? See, now, this is the example of being used as bait. This is for another group now, where you already know that this situation is going to happen before it even comes to you. But you know the purpose of why you're being placed in certain situations. But that's a whole different type of message and reading in itself, where people are not aware of exactly what a person is going to do. And they feel as though they got the one up on somebody. When even in that process where the person feels as though they got a one up on somebody, even that's being observed, because that was already aware of in terms of the entire process that's happening. Shit gets sticky. Rest and that's what I'm it was all part of it. It was happened. That could be happening now. Again, yep, that's yeah. Say it out loud. Say less.
You said enough.
So that's the message for right now, 7:37. May you all have a blissful one. Okay, we are signing out.